Hey guys, I'm back with another story. I just got off, and for the time being, these stories aren't rehearsed, and I don't have like a paper that I'm reading from, so sometimes I guess I'll pause or whatever. So, I have to tell you guys about Will and I think his name was Brent. The ride name was under Brent, but Will was one of the guys that was riding with him, and there was like five of them. And at first, I wasn't gonna pick them up because they were too far away. And then I was just like, let me go pick them up because I had been picking people up from this same party all night. So I drove up, and they were already ready for me, and I was like, yay, this is great. And I was happy because the other two times when I drove up to pick people up from the same party, they took forever coming out. And the one girl was texting me and she literally come out the door and act like she didn't see my big old car sitting there. I drive a huge Ford Flex. So they're coming out the house and they're looking around and I'm like, I'm sitting right here. So she comes up and she knocks on the window and I'm just staring at her because I'm just like, I can't stand that. Like, Uber tells y'all what the car looked like and what the person looked like and who it is, and you got the plate number. Why are you coming up knocking on my window? Either come get in the car or go read the plate number and then get in the car. But don't come knocking on the window. Hey, are you here for such and such? That's how people get kidnapped on Uber. Or not on Uber, but by people who aren't Ubers. Anyways, the other two people or groups that I went to go pick up weren't ready. But when I got there for Brent and all his friends were ready to go. And it was pretty late because I had picked the other people up like earlier in the night. So I guess they just partied hard or whatever. And the funny part was, I picked them up and I thought they were teenagers. So I was just like, wow. Like and all of the parties, the other two groups that I picked up too was like it looked like they were like teenage girls or whatever. But Brent told me they were college students. So I was like, okay, you guys can be drinking, sure. And I picked them up, put them in the car or whatever. They were acting crazy from the start. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, that's cool, the beach people be rowdy after they little parties and stuff. So I was like, fine, as long as y'all don't throw up in my car. I actually said that to two different groups last night too. As long as you don't throw up in my car, we good. And so we were driving and Will, which is why I remember his name, because the ride was for Brent. But Will was like, "Hey, I need you to make an extra stop, and I'm gonna tip you good." And I was like, "Okay." So he handed me $100 bill. I said, "Well, damn, you can make all the stops you want." I was so shocked. I was like, "Okay, this little kid just handed me $100." And so we went to go drop him off or whatever. While we're in the car, they're talking about this kid, like how crazy he is and everything. And lo and behold, he doesn't have any shoes on. So like, how you done went to a party and you ain't got no shoes on? So then we dropping him off. Apparently, I'm dropping him off to go get some booty. I'm like, what the what? Like, this is a little kid. Or to me, they look like little kids, but they were saying they were getting ready to go to college or whatever. They had chosen their colleges and stuff like that. And we got into the different colleges. And the guy that was sitting all the way in the back apparently is really angry at the guy that we just got for the Jaguars or whatever, the guy that just left Ohio State. So he's really angry at him because he left, I guess, the Gators. So I was just like, wow, this is interesting. Like, people get really, like, they get real hot over these sports. But yeah, they were talking about all of that, and we got into the Florida Georgia games because, they're college students, and some of them were Gators, and some of them were Seminoles. Of course, I'm a Seminole. And that's how we got on that subject. Because I was like, well, my sister, she's a Buckeye. And they were like, boo. But anywho, We go to drop Will off. Not Will. Yeah, Will. We go to drop Will off at this girl's house, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I know her parents were home because there were cars in the driveway. And he didn't even go in the front door. He went to like this little side gate or whatever. And I was like, look at these little sneaky boogers. But yeah, Mr. Will paid me $100 to go drop him off to get some booty. And then so I drove the other guys where they needed to go, which was all the way across town. And so I guess Will was like, I'm not gonna join this sausage party. I'm gonna go and get me some of the other kind of meat. Kudos to you, Will. So I dropped the other guys off, and they were cool, and they got dropped off to some really nice houses. I was like, look, these little rich kids. And I dropped the boys off, but then I ended up having to go back because one of the boys, I think it was the guy that was like hating on Ohio State or whatever, the Ohio State. So the guy that was in the back hating on the Buckeyes left his phone. It was a nice phone too, with a nice case. I was like, look at this case. I need a case like this. But I'm one of those nice Ubers. I turned around and went back. The guard was so cool. He let me in, and I went and dropped the phone off at the front door. So, yeah, that's the story of Will and Brent. I said that I would shout them out on my next video, and so there you go. Hopefully, you guys are following, liking, and commenting because I like all of you guys' comments. That really makes my day when I look on here and I have a comment and I get to reply to somebody's comment. So please like, subscribe, comment, share, and if you guys can, please go check out um, my blog, first of all, tiffanysimagination.com. And also, I have some cool, awesome merch on paom.com. And once you get on there, it's paom.com. You put in the search thing on there, you put Tiffany's Imagination. All one word, all lowercase. All right, thank you so much, guys. The next video hopefully will be about the 1-star people because I said I was going to do that for you guys. So, yeah, and I got a great story to go with that one, too. I guess I got a couple of great stories to go with that one. All right, friends. Laters.